Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have the founder of Franimal Solutions, where pets and diagnostics meet comfort. That's right. Francis, a.k.a. we call you Franimal. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, that's how the business name derived. It's my nickname for a long time.
I love it. Francis Faulkner's her name. She's a licensed veterinary medical technician, elite fear-free certified professional, healing touch for animals practitioner, and a clinical veterinarian sonographer. I cannot wait to chat about what you do because I think we all love pets, and I have some cats, and I had some babies over the break, so can't wait to chat with you. But first and foremost, welcome to the show, and we are excited that you're here. Please introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers today.
Sure. Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Oh,
a lot of people call me Fran. I've had the nickname
just broke up
Franimal
a second.
for a long time.
Hold on. You broke up. One more time. Yeah, you got a little glitch there. One more time and restart it. So, yes, tell us about yourself, Francis. Sorry.
Okay. Yes, no problem. Yes, thank you. Well, I'm Fran with Franimal Solutions. I'm an overachiever, of course. I've got a lot of certifications and education. I'm highly trained. And I just focus right now all my skills on offering abdominal ultrasound and echocardiograms to your family vet. So I go to their clinic and I offer low stress and fear-free handling for your pet. So really I'm like a surrogate mom while you're away. That's truly what I just have, this instant connection with animals. I think my healing touch training has also helped me to just make this instant connection and develop a trust with my patients. Mm-hmm. So I try to make sure it's low stress. I do not scruff cats. That's my soapbox. I use calming pheromones, music. I dim the lights. I baby talk at them, whatever that I need to do to get through. Because it's a good 20-minute procedure. And so if you can imagine, it can be kind of stressful, especially when the animal can't speak to me and I can't speak to them the way that we speak to each other. So I have to use other methods to just help them feel relaxed. That way I can get good diagnostic imaging. That's the end goal.
Beautiful.
At least with them.
Well, I know I read your notes and you said it's kind of like giving an adult, a human, like a glass of wine, right? You're doing these calming techniques with them, right?
Right. Yeah, it's just really to take the edge off. And actually we do often use drugs to also aid in that, just to cut down their anxiety, not necessarily to like conk them out unless they really need that. But
well, I'm excited to hear more. And by the way, on the website, you have to go to franimalsolutions.com. And I see the little cat with the wine glass there. It's great. I want to find out where, now I know you're in Middle Tennessee. You're serving, a lot in that area. But tell me where you grew up and how did you discover the love of animals? I want to hear your backstory. But of course, we're going to talk more about the ultrasound and all the services you provide in just a moment. But bring us back a little, when you were a child. Where did you grow up and how did you discover the love of these animals? This could take a whole show. No.
yeah. The book will be out. No, I am working on a book, but who knows if I'll finish it. It's so hard. But I grew up, I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. I have moved around. I'm kind of a vagabond. So I've kind of explored different jobs, different, avenues to try to figure out what I wanted to do. I've always had almost an etheric connection with animals. I should have known when I was younger that I was going to work in this field or do something to help animals, but I didn't. I'm a late bloomer. So I was pursuing music. I was a front man in many bands and it just didn't work out. And so I thought I kind of took a leap of faith in pursuing this field. Mm-hmm. And I went to school. I actually went to pre-vet school and got my first job at a vet clinic. And I just loved it so much. It just came so naturally to me that I thought, okay, well, I think I definitely feel like I'm in the right place. But then I discovered that there's this role called veterinary technician. I didn't even know that existed. And that's kind of what I was doing, all the, the dirty work, the patient care, the bedside patient care, hands on the pet. And I just pivoted at that moment because I thought good vets need good techs. So I went to Bel Ray in Denver, Colorado. I graduated with honors. I spent maybe the first half of my 20-year career. I'm dating myself now, but the first 10 years I was in shelter medicine and general practice. And I began to discover that I had more special interests in things like internal medicine. Infectious diseases actually are my thing. And also clinical pathology. So then I got jobs in those fields because it gave me more experience and more training, more focused experience. And that's what led me to ultrasound. I didn't even know really that if I was allowed to do ultrasound or not, but come to find out it's well within the scope of practice for vet techs, just like a nurse or a vet tech, like they take the x-ray and then the doctor interprets it. So as long as I don't cross that line and try to diagnose, then I can go and I can do the image capture. And I send that to an internist, and that's what I've been doing now for 2 years, almost 2 years. So it's pretty amazing.
This is amazing. I mean, what an amazing business. Clearly you love your animals and you're helping so many of them out there. This is great. And you, as you mentioned, you're mobile. So you're going around to different vet offices all over, right?
That's right. All over Middle Tennessee. But yeah, I mean, I do all over Nashville, that metro area, like southern. Yeah, a lot of area that I cover. So, and there's even more clinics that I could probably visit. So you can request me.
Well, let me ask, like my veterinarian that I grew up with, he never had a machine like this. He would do an x-ray and that was it. So you'd have to go to a specialty location for something. So this is great because you're able to bring this. And let me ask, what are some of the things that, as pet owners should we be aware of? When do we need these type of scans? Give me a little bit of, history of the ultrasound and what it could be used for, if you don't mind.
Oh my gosh, that also could be a whole episode. A lot. I mean, I've had people do just wellness scans where I'm just looking for something incidentally. But probably the most common reasons I get called in is your vet either heard something or felt something abnormal on a physical exam, and they want to further investigate it. Or there's lab work abnormalities. Those are sometimes they'll see something on x-ray as well and want to investigate that further with ultrasound. But for the most part, it's abnormal physical exam findings and lab work. So that's why it's really important that you take your pets to the vet, especially cats, although I think they're going to the vet more often, but it's hard to travel with cats. And do that physical exam and do that just that screening lab work, because a lot of times that's how we catch things early.
Wow. It's, for example, I just had a litter of kittens. I did have I have a shelter cat, 2 of them. One wasn't fixed yet, and I got another one. So we just had babies recently. Unfortunately, we lost 2 this past week out of the 5 out of the litter. But ironically, I said to myself next time, I said, I would love to know how many kittens are in my baby's belly. And they said you could do an x-ray, but you could do an ultrasound too, right? I mean, you could see each. I'm trying to think like when I was pregnant, you could see the babies, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can do that. It's hard with animals to do a sonogram like that just because, I mean, they have a litter. So I don't know how many kittens your cat had, but they have several. So it's really hard to count them and determine how many are in there. I have had the privilege of doing a couple ultrasounds like that. They're really fun. It's just fascinating because you can see their little bodies and their little heart beating. You can see their little organs, and it's just I can spend all day.
You mentioned now echocardiograms too. This is for what type of animals? Are you able to see the hearts? I'm fascinated by this.
All of them, really. I mean, I just do cats and dogs. I'm sure you could do an echo on a horse, but I don't know how to do that. I mean, everything from, a 5-pound kitty to I did a 180-pound Great Dane where we did an echo. And it's really just I mean, a cat heart is about the size of a walnut. So that's pretty tiny compared to the Great Dane. But yeah, if your vet hears a heart murmur, or say, again, there's abnormal lab work. There's lab work to check the muscle of the heart, or certain chemicals that are released when it's damaged. And so that's when I get called in. And what's crazy is sometimes they don't even have a heart murmur or anything else that indicated an echo. And so I don't know, if your vet says maybe we should do an echo, that's probably a good idea. But yeah, and then they have to just, lay on their side, and I point the probe at their heart and try to evaluate blood flow through the heart.
Okay. And
the valves, it measures the muscles of the heart, all that.
Wow. This is fascinating. I can't. So beautiful. Do you have animals yourself? Do you mind me asking?
Oh, yes. Yeah, they are my children, pretty much. I have a French bulldog named Gilda, a black lab named Cooper, and I have 3 cats. In order of seniority, it's Sophia. She's the matriarch of the house. And then Nacho, and then Monkey. And he's my special needs cat. He's blind. I recommend special needs.
Mine is blind in one eye. Yeah. That is beautiful. I love it. As a cat mom, Franimals Solutions. If you are just tuning in, please go to the website. That's Franimals Solution, FRANIMALS solutions.com. And we are talking here with our amazing guest, get many accolades, licensed veterinary medical technician, and there's so many other certifications that you do as well. I mentioned the healing touch. Is this like a Reiki type of thing that you do as well?
Exactly. It's very similar. It's just a different application. So actually, I'm so glad you asked, because this is kind of, once I get through maybe offering some mentoring services, this is the thing I'd like to offer in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I can do distance healing. I'm just not officially certified in that yet.
Okay.
But yeah, it was called Tellington Touch, and it started in human medicine, in a lot of oncology departments where people it's almost like a last resort, which is kind of sad, because I think you need it before then. But people have found that it really relaxed them. And of course, stress is a health hazard. If you're stressed, you're releasing cortisol, and your body doesn't function optimally. And so this person who started out with Tellington Touch, Carol Comator, she decided to, and in fact, she had this vision, almost like her hands were guided into different positions to apply the energy healing specifically to pets. Because, I'm going to geek out about healing touch.
Sure, go ahead.
An animal's aura is different than a human's aura, and their chakras, even though they're the same chakras, like if an animal was standing on their 2 feet, it would be the same, but they don't stand on their 2 feet. Yeah. They stand on their 4 feet. And so the kind of order of operations is just a little different, and where you put your hands is a little different.
Okay. I
have to say, that was in Florida, South Florida. So I think it was about 2014 I first got certified, I got my level 1 training. Okay. And I thought it was crazy. I showed up, and Carol was there, and she said, "We're going to practice feeling each other's auras." And I thought, no, okay, I'm just going to pretend and get through this, weekend. But it's true. I really felt I had experiences there over this 3-day level 1 training for healing touch that I felt so excited to offer this in the hospital I was working in. I started offering it to more chronically ill animals, animals after they've had anesthesia or some kind of a surgery. And just any kind of hospitalized animal. I was doing more, not so much behavior. It's more so it really does help with illness and with trauma. And so I started using it in the hospital, and I saw the result. And that to me is the proof, because it's like, wow, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I'm just going through the motions, and I could still see these results. And they train anybody. Healing Touch for Animals, they offer online training for if you wanted to learn how to just soothe your own pet. And that's really what it's about, is taking off that stress so that they're less tense and there's less pain and their blood flows better. And there's just all these just great physiologic benefits to relaxing.
Oh, well, thank you for being here. We still have plenty more time to chat. What else, there's a lot in your notes. What else did you want to discuss next? I don't know if we're going out of order, which is fine. But what else did you want to make sure we share for your first show today?
Oh, gosh. Well, we pretty much covered the points I feel are the most important, which is, I mean, being a vet tech, being fear-free, doing Healing Touch. I partner very closely with an internist. We also offer endoscopy together. It's more of a partnership, but a lot of my abdominal ultrasounds will lead to that. And so it's nice to know, right, you've got this like boutique collaborative care for your pet. But I feel like, because there are some other services that offer mobile ultrasound in the same way that I do, they have different qualifications, but I'll say that I feel as though it's my personality that seals the deal for me. I think I'm easy to work with. I do want to collaborate with you and talk about the case and maybe give you my opinion. I'm going to try to go above and beyond and get you that best possible outcome. Like you sent me something, a lab work later on. I'm going to make sure that that's included in their report.
Beautiful.
So I don't know. I just love what I do.
Can I ask you about some of your mentors? I know you were working with someone, and I think you still do, right? Tell me, who guided you down this path? Could you share a little bit about that?
Yes, that would be Dr. Larson, I'm assuming you're talking about.
Red, yep.
Oh my gosh. I mean, she's been with me pretty much since the beginning. We met in South Florida at it was my first experience in specialty medicine. And I was I worked in internal medicine department with her. And we worked together for a year. That was probably my first experience too with ultrasound. And then flash forward, I don't know, it's been maybe 7 or 8 years later, we actually moved to Tennessee about the same time and didn't know it. And I ran into her at a vet conference, and she asked me to do this mobile veterinary specialties.
Wow.
So, yeah. And we started out, the first 3 years that we worked together, we worked for another company that did mobiles, internal medicine here in Nashville. It was just her and I, but most of our business was ultrasound. And so I saw a lot of normals, a lot of abnormals, and Dr. Larson, not all vets have the patience, not all people, period, have the patience to just teach and maybe answer those questions that, I don't want to say they're stupid questions because there's no such thing, but it's like those questions, she never made me feel like I was asking a stupid question. She took the time to say, yeah, that's the adrenal gland. Yeah, this is mixed echogenicity or whatever, teaching me those big terms that helped me to describe what I was looking at and to understand better what I was looking at. And then her and I we wanted to grow, and the company we worked for really didn't want us to do anything different. They wanted us to stay right where we were. And so that's when we decided to branch out. So she gave me a decent heads up with that so that I could plan what I was going to do. She didn't train me in ultrasound just because for legal reasons, she wasn't allowed to get involved, really. We kept it separate. But at the same time, I don't even know what to say. She pushed me. She pushed me a little bit.
Yeah.
And then she'd watch me she'd do one and then I'd do one on the same pet. and see if I could find the same structures and come up with the same pictures or whichever. So I felt like I was in the right place at the right time, but also her and I just belong together in work. She's like a big sister to me. So just to even be able to like talk to somebody when you're having a bad day and you can not be perfect, but also not be judged. All of that too was very, it helped me with my confidence for sure.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you. And by the way, so Dr. Larson it is, right? And then I read, but
Yes.
Dr. Temple someone? Who was that?
Oh gosh, Dr. Temple Grandin?
Yes,
Oh my gosh. Okay, I've never met Dr. Grandin, but I'm a huge fan, and I think everyone should look her up. And she has a movie about her called Temple Grandin, starring Claire Danes.
Oh my gosh.
It's all about her and her life overcoming autism, as well as basically innovating how we treat livestock, especially cows. If it wasn't for her and her thesis about cattle behavior and how stress affects cattle, I wouldn't have passed large animal class. That's when I first discovered her, but I follow her all the time. She's an animal behaviorist. She's a professor at Colorado State University. She is an ambassador for Fear Free. She's amazing. And I also feel like I have a lot in common with her. Being autistic myself, I find this like this relationship with animals, it's multifactorial. The fact that I have this bond with them just so quickly. And some of that too is autism, because I can recognize like stimulation from my environment. I'm experiencing the same thing. I have chronic illness too. I understand how that feels. And so I want to consider all that in our pets too, because they can experience stress. They can experience overstimulation. They can experience, they're probably feeling like poopy if they're going to the vet for something other than vaccines.
Wow.
So
oh my
she's
goodness.
been amazing.
Wow. And, again, at Franimals Solutions, if you are tuning in, that's Franimals Solutions. You're based, you mentioned Middle Tennessee, right? So what counties do you serve mostly?
Oh, my gosh. A lot of counties. A lot of counties. Davidson, Rutherford. Oh, my God.
I used to have a place in Davidson.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right. That's
over at the Adelicia little condo downtown area.
Okay. Wait, where at? In Nashville?
Yeah, at the Adelicia. It's, right at downtown. It's on Adelicia Street, right near University of Vanderbilt. Taylor Swift lived in the building. She still does. She is in the penthouse. I lived in a small one-bedroom as a rental. But yeah, I was there for since 2007, actually. But I always lived in New York, and I always had that as a separate spot. But I love Tennessee. My son's uncle's from there, and you also are doing telemedicine too, is what I heard as well.
Well, that's Dr. Larson's service.
Is that for? Okay, perfect. Yeah. I wasn't sure.
So it's like she started her own business as well, and then we just use each other for our things like that. So if there's teleconsultation needed, I can arrange it, but it's still Dr. Larson that actually does it.
Got it. So when you go, you do an ultrasound, you get the report. Now, are you the one who also, talks to the client about what goes on, or does it have to go through the doctor, or you're the one who does it so you can tell them what you see?
So I come in and do the image capture, and then I sneak out. My client is the vet.
Got
so
it.
My main goal is really to give them all the information that they need or are looking for to come up with a good treatment plan for their patient.
Okay.
So I do the image capture, and then the images are sent to Dr. Larson. So this is probably about 1 to 2 business days that go into it before you get the results. And then she emails a report to your vet. And then the vet then uses that information to speak to the pet owner send home medications, order additional diagnostics, things like that.
Got it. All right. Well, this is a fascinating field you're in, and I'm excited to meet you. And unfortunately, now we're out of time. Let's remind everyone how we can contact you, please. Would you mind sharing all forms of contact with us today, Fran?
Yeah. Well, the best way to get a hold of me is just go to my website, franimalsolutions.com. And all my contact information's on there. Please follow me on social media.
And is that Franimal Solutions? What's the handle for Instagram, Facebook?
Franimal Solutions. Mm-hmm. And that's all on my website, too. There's just a quick link to my Instagram, my Facebook. My phone number is on there, email, everything that you could need. Even Dr. Larson's information, there's a click to go to her
I did
website.
that before. Yep, that's how I found out more information about you and her. All right, great. Well, thank you so much. Pleasure having you here. Excited to get started working with you. And again, I hope people do reach out and take care of your animals, right? Any advice you want to leave off for the new year, Fran?
Thank your veterinary team.
It's so true. I was at one the day after Christmas. Yes, with the baby issue. So,
gosh. Yeah, right.
Thank you so much for Animal Solutions.
Awesome.
Pleasure having you here, and hopefully we'll get to speak again soon. Thanks so much.
Thanof the day.
You too, sweetheart. Bye-bye. Enjoy.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
It's Thursday night, and you're grabbing drinks with some friends. Started off with a pitcher for the table, which quickly becomes two. There's pool. And there's the photo booth.
All right, everybody squeeze in. Say cheese!
Followed naturally by an order of wings. And another.
Can we get some extra ranch sauce?
Then there's the ceremonial nightcap.
So what are we doing this weekend?
And lastly, it's back to the car, which, if you're buzzed, could be the most expensive night of your life. Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.